There you are, Flanagan. You are very late again. Half expected that you got picked off by those pickpockets again, which is rather disgraceful seeing as you are a very large man and they are, in fact, children. Oh, you're not him. I'm so sorry. 1,000 apologies, mate. I thought you were my worthless shop assistant who always ends up here late. Again, sorry. Sometimes my mouth runs off before my mind catches up with her. Bad habit, I suppose. Anyway, to what do I owe the immense honour of someone as fancy as yourself gracing my humble shop with their presence? Well, good, I'm glad you're looking for something. I've got all kinds of somethings in my shop here. Care to be a bit more specific? Something interesting. Alright, you also just described everything in my shop here. Now, I would love to help you find what sort of interesting thing you're looking at. But you may need to be a bit more forthcoming with the details if you'd like my help. You're trying to impress someone. Pique their interest, maybe. And who might this someone be? A scorned lover, perhaps? Or maybe it's just someone that you would like to be your lover. Oh, not a lover. Oh, sorry. Shouldn't assume, I suppose. Everyone in this poor, sorry little port city seems to have some sort of sad love story. So not a lover. Tell you what, why don't you tell me a bit about this person, what they like or don't like, and we can decide what sort of interesting it is that you're looking for. Oh, you don't know that much about them? Well, that's a bit difficult, ain't it? Alright, fine. Nothing wrong with being vague. I got all sorts of interesting things, all different types of interesting things, so why don't we just start and you tell me what tickles your fancy, eh? Alright. Now, I suppose you might as well start with this. I have this beautiful fan here. Imported, of course, from one of the lovely ships that we have in the port here. This comes from a kingdom across the sea that is well known for their beautiful textiles and the way that they decorate fabrics. Lovely black colour. Obviously matches almost everything. Lovely ornate design there. And on the slats here too. What do you mean it's broken? It ain't broke. Oh. Well, it still works. It's fine. There. See? It still feels nice. And it folds up nice and compact. Got a little handle on the bottom here so you could attach it to something. You don't have to just carry it around. And perhaps it'd be a discount because it's apparently a bit broke there. When did that happen? But it was Flanagan. He's always mucking up everything and not telling me about it. Anyway, do you think this would be the sort of interesting that your mysterious person would be interested in? No. Not to worry. Plenty more where that came from. Let's see. What else might be interesting to your friend? You really don't know anything else about them. Okay. Bit mysterious. Perhaps living on their own. Well then, perhaps they would like... Oh, maybe this over here. This is quite the useful item here. This is also from a kingdom far away from ours. This is a tea kettle, but a very special kind of tea kettle. You see on the top here, you've got a little piece that comes on and off, and you can put the tea leaves right in there. It's got some little holes in there, just like that. And then you just pour the hot water over the tea leaves, and it drains down into there and steeps. Yes, quite a fascinating invention. What do you mean it looks like it's missing something? No, it don't. It's perfectly fine. It works great. I've used it myself, sort of. Alright, fine. So that doesn't do it for you either. Oh, what about these? I've got a lovely set of hand-carved little wooden cups. Cups. You can see they've got a beautiful little design here on the side. It's looks like this little bungalow and some trees and the waves there. That's right. Beautiful little cups. Very practical gift, if you ask me. Everyone needs cups, and these would be perfect for a spot of rum, perhaps, or any other sort of stronger beverage you might like. Just have a bit of it. And like I said, it does come in a set. There are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 little wooden goblets, hand carved right here in Tivermack, actually. Do you think that's something that your friend may like? Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine. Now, do you think your friend would like something that's a bit more exotic, or something that was made a bit more close to home here, sort of bringing in the Tivermack charm? You don't know. Of course you don't know. Alright, that's fine. We'll keep trying. What about, oh, here's an interesting little item. This is a little carving of a dragon, obviously. Now, of course, we have dragons in our kingdom here, but unfortunately most of them have been hunted to extinction, so not quite the chance for the adventure of slaying a beast like this anymore. I mean, there's still some in the south, obviously, the desert dragons that you've got near Harkham and those other cities down there, Asgregor, whatever else is down at the southern part of the kingdom near the wilds. Sometimes the dragons come up there. But as you can see, this is a very ornately carved little figure here. You can make out each little scale along the dragon's neck, each of the spikes down its back all the way down the tail. Black eyes there. I believe those are onyx, if I'm not mistaken. Fascinating little beast, ain't he? I named him Lysander. I suppose you can name it whatever you want, but according to me, his name is Lysander. He's got little, almost sort of fin-like things here, so he may actually be a water dragon. Who knows? Although he does also have wings. They're a bit smaller though, so I suppose that would fit for a water dragon. The tail down here is a bit more like a fin too, ain't it? So you never know, maybe it's one of those sea serpents slithering through the water, sneaking up on its prey. This was from a kingdom. I believe this was actually from Asmal, the kingdom to the north of us. They've still got quite a lot of dragons. I believe they're actually protected up there for some reason. I don't know, they're quite formidable beasts, but I suppose they deserve to live too. Maybe. Or maybe they're just sort of protected so that their heroes can have grand deeds to do. You never know. Anyway, beautifully carved, ornate golden dragon statue named Lysander. What do you think? Not exactly. Okay. That's fine. Always love a challenge, don't I? Yes, I do. Well, if you're looking for something a bit closer to home, here is a beautiful jar, blown right here in town, of course, full of lovely little seashells. Yeah, that's right. All different sizes, different colours, different shapes. Got this very thick white one. Here's one that's a bit more cream coloured. Ooh. It's got quite a few more ridges on that one, don't it? And let's see what else is in here. Ooh, that's a big one. Look at that, beautiful. Those curves on there. It ain't broken. Well, okay, maybe it's a bit broke, but that's just adds to the character of it, don't it? Ah. Tells the story of its life in the ocean. Anyway, there's more in here that ain't broke. Those first two weren't broke. Oh, here's sort of a pinkish one. That's pretty. Ooh. Here's one that's still sealed. That's right, look at that. Makes a cool sound, doesn't it? Anyway, any of these shells could be fashioned into tools or jewellery, or just, you know, to have around. There are some, you know, seafaring people here who actually like to trade in seashells, so to the right person this could be quite the affluent purchase. What do you think? Not what you're looking for? Alright. Beginning to see a pattern here. Not to worry. I've got something for everyone. Everyone leaves happy. Everyone leaves happy. Don't you worry, I've got lots of other ideas for you. What about... Oh, now this is a fascinating item here. This was something that was actually traded to me from one of the captains that just blew into the port a few weeks ago, I suppose. And he was looking for some supplies to fix his ship. Didn't have any coin to trade with me, but he found this on one of his expeditions. No idea where he got it from, but it is the largest jewel I have ever seen. That's right. Now it's in a rather strange shape. If you ask me, I'm not sure why you would carve a jewel into this shape, but what do you say to this? Beautiful crystal butterfly. Right, got the different colours there. Got sort of this amber colour and then the more ruby on the outside. What do you mean it's fake? It ain't fake, it's real crystal. How do you know? Do you know all the different types of crystals that you can find in all the different kingdoms all throughout the world? I didn't think so. It's quite lovely. Look at the way the facets there catch the light. Beautiful crystal butterfly. 100% genuine. Thank you very much. This would surely turn the head of any sort of interesting person you're trying to impress. Quite a fascinating item, if you ask me. What do you think? See how lovely that is? Fine. I'm sure I've got something else here. You're gonna make me really think, aren't you? I got any jewellery. Sure, I got some jewellery. I mean, if you ask me, that's a bit less special than some of these other unique things I've been showing you. Just saying, but yeah, let's see. I've got not a lot of jewellery. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that sells rather quickly, but I think I got something in here. If you're interested, I'll tell you this beautiful little box to keep it into. Presentation sometimes is key, even more than the item you're selling. Sometimes all you need is the right presentation to really make an item shine. but this interesting person you're trying to impress would appreciate good presentation. Like a beautiful beaded box like this. See all those little beads on there? Different colours. Sort of cord going around there. Different shapes, textures. Quite lovely. And it's got this floral design along the outside. Anyway, and then inside you've got this beautiful solid gold bangle. That's right, it's got this larger bangle here, a bit asymmetrical, adds to the interest of it, and then these other smaller pieces that go around. And it's open on the back, so you can easily just pop it on and off, just like that. See that? Absolutely lovely. Sure to dress up any sort of look. Give stature to anyone who wears it. What do you mean it's not real gold? Of course it's gold. Do you think I don't know my precious metals? Obviously it's gold, trust me. Fine. What else might be interesting to you? Let's see, you didn't like the seashell. Oh, here's something that not quite as common as seashells, at least not yet, but inside here I've got something rather interesting. I don't know how much you know about the city of Tivermack, but it used to be quite an enterprising city. Lots of people called gnomes used to live here. They used to make all sorts of fascinating things in their spare time. And one of their most ingenious inventions, if you ask me, was the invention of glass. That's right, apparently it's made from heating up sand, I think. Fascinating that something as simple and abundant as sand can make such an interesting thing as glass. Watertight, obviously. Usually clear, but you can also add different colours to it. Lots of different possibilities with glass. You can make it incredibly thick and it's very, very strong. Or you can make it thinner and it's more delicate. Anyway, now that we have the invention of glass, we also have, unfortunately, things that fall into the water somehow or another and get battered around by the waves, cast against the cliffs and then washed back out with the tide. So this little thing is all a collection of pieces of sea glass. So these are pieces of glass that at one time were clear or were some sort of bottle or other contraption, but now they've been frosted over by the wear and tear of the ocean, and are now these beautiful little shards, all different colours in there. You've got this more greenish one, and there's some bluish ones in here. Look at that beautiful blue. I wonder what that was. Perhaps a bottle, or perhaps some sort of little trinket. Anyway, these pieces can be fashioned into jewellery, can be used as, you can melt them down and make new glass. You can do all sorts of things with sea glass. If you're trading with someone particularly stupid, they might think that something like this is a raw diamond too. Just saying. Endless possibilities. And this little container is full to the brim with different colours and sizes and shapes of beautiful sea glass. What say you to that? Alright, that's fine. Not to worry, not to worry. What about this lovely wooden container? So how smoothly it's been sanded down. Takes quite a lot of time to polish wood. That beautiful smooth texture. Got the lid here that swings open and closed. It's quite an interesting thing too. Again, sometimes even the most mundane item can be made incredibly special with presentation. What do you say? Alright? Hi. Well, is there anything that you need? Your friend sounds incredibly picky, but is there anything that I could interest you in, mate? Oh, a map. A map. I have got lots and lots of maps, have I got. Now, what exactly sort of map were you looking for? A map of the kingdom, perhaps, or a map of the seas round these parts? Perhaps a map of a different kingdom, such as Asmal, if you happen to be travelling up that way. I've got maps of Elan here. I've got any sort of map that you could imagine. What are you looking for? Oh, a map of Tivermack. Well, of course I got that one. Let's see, where is that? What was that one? Oh no, not that one. What's this one? No, I think that's the Elan one. Is this it? I believe... Ah, here we are. Of course, I got a map with Tivermack. Your first time in the sea, then? Let's see. Did you blow in on one of the ships out there, or do you happen to be an inlander? An inlander. Fascinating. There we are. There. See? The lovely, fascinating hodgepodge of a city of Tivermack. Do you know your way around it all yet? A bit. Well, that's good. Got most of the businesses and things that you might need up here. And then you are in the lovely merchant's quarter right down here. Yes, of course. And obviously the port. It wouldn't be a port city if we didn't have a port there. Ships coming in. There's the customs officer. Real prick of a bloke he is. Magistrate's house, of course. This little manor over there. And of course the lighthouse up there. And there's a mill up here. Anything specific that I can point you in the direction of? Not really, you just like the map. Sure. Not a problem. Well, at least I can interest you in that, eh? Even if we can't find something for your friend. Not total loss. Well, here's that for you then. Oh no, don't worry. I got a few other things that may tickle your fancy still. I have got... Ooh, how about this one? Now this, sometimes as a merchant in a city that serves as the gateway to the rest of the world, sometimes I come across things that I honestly have no idea what they are. None at all. So, this contraption, I have a good idea of what it might be, but this might be just the sort of mysterious item that a mysterious person might find incredibly captivating. Here. Like I said, no idea what this is. See, it's got all of these very large wooden beads on it. 3 rows of them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. And they rotate on these dowels here. It's got a nice solid base you can hold from the back. Now, if you ask me, this sort of looks like something that you would use in a larger scale to move heavy things. You know, you've got large pieces of lumber, timber, any of those sorts of things that you might need on and off of ships, you know, loading the big cannons, things like that. They've got contraptions similar to this to help move them up and down, but much larger. And usually they're made of metal. Oh well, I suppose some of them are made of wood, it just sort of depends. But this one, I have no idea. I don't know why you would need to move something so small with a device like this. Unless it was a very, 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 very dense item. I have no idea what that might be. No, most likely it's a different use. Perhaps it's a prototype that someone made of those larger models. You never know. Or, I don't know. What do you think it is? It's possible. Honestly, I have no idea. But it's quite fascinating, isn't it? Sometimes the items that are the most mysterious are the most intriguing, aren't they? In either case, it would have taken quite a lot of time making something like this, polishing each of these beads, carving them out in the centre and affixing them to the base. What do you think? Something interesting like this be appealing to your mysterious person? Maybe? Okay, we got a first maybe. I like that. I like maybes. Wonderful. Well, we'll set this one aside and remember that for the time being. Alright, let's see what else might be of interest. I must admit you're getting to the end of my inventory. It's almost market day, so of course I'll be getting new things in a few days. So if you happen to come back, of course, I've always got new things. Nothing stays here for very long, don't like this, but for now I do seem to be running a bit bare. Oh, now this is another item that I can guess what it might be, but I have no idea. Another wooden carved item, and this one has two pieces to it. There's this base piece here, and then that's got a very deep impression in the centre there. And then this little wooden dowel piece that goes inside. Perhaps it's supposed to work sort of like a crusher of something, or maybe a juicer for one berry at a time. I don't know what the point of that would be. Perhaps it's got an entirely different purpose that I just don't know of. Either way, it's very interesting. Well crafted again. You've got all these different shapes and sizes on the dowel here that are mirrored in the bottom part here. A lovely polish on this too. It's not something you see every day in the Kingdom of MacLeod, but some of these items from around the world, you get a bit more finish to them, I suppose. Many of the crafters in MacLeod make things to have purpose, not necessarily to be pretty. Unless, of course, you're in one of those awful cities like Elan. But anyway, I have no idea what the purpose of this is. Maybe you could crush tobacco in there. You know, make up your cigars or something. Although I'm not sure why, again, it would be so small. I have no idea. Maybe it's for a very special kind of spice or something. Anyway, oh, that's something. Is your mysterious person a cook? Because I do have some quite fascinating spices here that you can't get anywhere else. No, of course not. Anyway, what do you think of this strange little contraption? No. Alright. Are you sure? It's very, very interesting. Perhaps your mysterious person would know exactly what it is. No. Alright, fine. I believe you are almost out of options. Just saying, you are going to need to make a decision at one point or another. I do have a few more things though. Don't you worry, don't you worry. Now this is a far more practical gift, if you ask me. More like the cups or something like that. Everyone needs things to put other things in. To put it so blankly, I suppose. This is a beautifully woven basket, again, from the shores of Tivermack. And this basket has been decorated with a few seashells on it as well. We like to decorate with seashells here. It's just part of living in the port, I suppose. Something that most people have access to. So this is a tightly woven basket made out of reeds. And then it's got some weaving down the side here, some rope with all these interesting little shells on it. A nice good size to a basket too. Be perfect for, I don't know, a day of fishing maybe, or collecting plants or herbs or seaweed too. What do you mean, what do you need seaweed for? Well, you eat it. You didn't know you could eat seaweed? Well, yeah. I mean, obviously it's very salty. Some people don't like the taste of it, but it's very nutritious. And when you're alone on the sea, or when you're, don't necessarily have coin for fresh bread or any sort of meats or things like that, it can be a good alternative. Anyway, you can see all these fascinating little shells on here. Oh, that one's quite lovely with all those spirals. In a lovely basket, and then it does have a lid here too, of course, just to keep everything that you need. This would also be a good basket for maybe coal next to a fire, something like that. Also got some seashells here and that same sort of rope woven in a nice tight handle. Although the lid doesn't actually fasten to the basket, so you couldn't necessarily carry that by the handle, but you can take the lid on and off with the handle. Anyway, and if worse comes to worse, you can use it as a hat. Shield you from the sun. Or something, I don't know. Anyway, what do you say to the very practical gift of the decorated basket? No? Okay. Fine. I'm trying my best here, but that's fine, that's fine. Oh, I do have one other thing actually. This is, again, something special to Tivermack. It's not jewellery per se, but it is decorative, more for decorating your home or something, I suppose. This is a lovely table covering or a wall hanging made of all of these beautiful little shells. You can see how they're woven together in this lovely pattern. Whether it's a flower, most likely, or some sort of no, it's not a star, it's not pointed on the end. You can see all these beautiful shells, cleaned, polished so they shine, woven into this beautiful, intricate pattern. Just lovely. And very, very specific to this city, to the sea. Now this one, I believe, was actually woven by a sailor on a very, very long journey at sea. You see, taking care of a ship takes quite a lot of work, so obviously there are lots of sailors and there's lots of jobs to be done, but there is some downtime on ships, and you've got to entertain yourselves somehow while you're at sea, day after day, night after night. Some sailors take up singing or learning an instrument. Them that can write usually end up writing out fascinating poetry or memoirs or something like that. And then some of them turn to more crafty ways to pass the time. Yes. It was a very sensitive soul that made this. Very lovely and very dainty, I suppose. What say you to this? Oh, this you're interested in? Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad that we could come to an agreement. It really is a very unique piece, being handmade by a sailor lonely at sea. Crafting something so beautiful out of things the ocean would maybe just throw away. Not really throw away, you know what I mean. Everything in the ocean gets used somehow, but little shells like this get washed up on shore. They either are stomped on and turned to dust and join the sand, or they're picked up by a curious little sailor, made into something beautiful for us to have. Wonderful. So glad that you're interested in this lovely, lovely little decoration. Alright, now of course we do have to talk about price. Oh, no. You think that this is worth 3 gold? I did tell you that this was hand woven by a sailor, right? That was hours and hours of work. Don't you support the arts? No. You must reward the time put into something like this. I was thinking something more along the lines of 10 gold. That's not too high. Alright, fine. Perhaps we could go down to 8 gold. How does that sound? 5? Pfft. Goodness gracious. Does the story mean nothing to you? It's so much time, both the weaving and in collecting all of these different shells off the beach. Do you know how much time was put into that? This is an incredibly unique, beautiful item. You want it for 5 gold. 6. Tell you what, you give me 8 for this and for your map of Tivermack there, and you've got yourself a deal. How does that sound? Maps take quite a lot of time to make too. All of this drawing, the fine little details, and the sorts of colour in this one too. That's expensive to make, you know. I think that's a very fair price. 8 gold for this lovely seashell decoration and the map of Tivermack. Take it or leave it. Fine. 7. Do we have a deal or not? Wonderful. Alright, fine. Take your items and go before I change my mind. 7 gold, please. Thank you. Oh no, I'll be counting them, thanks. Okay, wonderful. Thank you ever so much for your business. Now, is there anything else that I could interest you in, or, like I said, point you in the direction of in your time here in Tivermack? No. Well, pleasure doing business with you, mate. If you happen to have any other sorts of interesting people looking for interesting things. You know where to find me now, don't you? Alright, well, enjoy your purchases and enjoy your time in Tivermack.